And we are live. So listen, I'm excited. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Peace to every single one of you. Happy new week. And we are about to get this thing rocking. And I'm going to take this out actually. This looks better without the handkerchief. All right, cool. So listen, I'm excited right now. We are literally about to get into this information. I want to encourage, as many, get your teams on. This is going to be probably the best call I've ever done in my life. Okay, I'm telling you guys right now to get your notepad and pens ready. I am not coming to play. I'm not coming to play kumbaya. I'm coming to give you guys the game, right? And give you guys this transformational information that can absolutely transform your life, right? So I'm very excited for this call. I'm very pumped up for this call. I've done some deep study for this call. I've been up since 4 a.m. this morning, hit the gym, right? Shout out to Zane, got me the cup, keep calm. I'm a director. So I'm drinking my coffee this morning and man, I'm excited. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Let's get into the information. I want to really give you guys some incredible tips. Now, I was listening to a study, right, a couple of hours ago, and it's by a gentleman by the name of Bill Carson. You might know who he is. Bill Carson is one of the biggest thought leaders right now in the world. He was a former basketball coach, and he's now gone into coaching, mindset programs, and really helping grow the consciousness of us in this world today, right? And he broke down a formula that was very interesting that I want to share with you guys first and foremost, right? This is very, very key, right? This is very, very key. The first thing he said was that conscious thoughts times action equals manifestation. And when I thought about that quote, I was like, you know what? This is actually extremely important for the world in which we live. I want to ask you guys a question real quickly, right? What's your goal for the next 60 to 90 days? Financial goal. You can either put it in the chat or you can actually write it down. I hope you guys have your notepads ready, right? But I want you to really write down this goal that you have for the next 60 to 90 days. What goal have you written down that you're going to be working towards for the next 60, 90 days? All right. Now, the reason why I'm bringing that up, I'm going to merge this together, right? I said that conscious thought times action equals manifestation. So the manifestation is the goal that we've set. We want to make this amount of money. We want to have this type of lifestyle. The action is in the middle and the conscious thought is at the beginning. Okay. In the beginning was the word. This means we have to write down what goal we want. In the beginning was the word, right? It means that the very beginning of creation, the very beginning of us being here as conscious beings, right? We were created by words. It means that you have the power to create. And I've actually created a mantra that I want you guys to actually, this is going to be the biggest mantra in the world. We're going to take this across the world. We're going to take this across every single nation across the world. It is a mantra that I created literally yesterday. And I was thinking about how can I unite the people? How can I unite everybody? Different companies, different industries, right? I'm not speaking just to people in my company. That's such a low level of thinking. I'm speaking to people in every industry worldwide. I'm talking to athletes. I'm talking to entertainers, right? I'm talking to people from every source of life. And the mantra, I want you guys to repeat this after me, right? And then, of course, write it down. We're going to be saying this every day, right? We're going to be saying this every day, right? The first thing we're going to say is, I am enough. Because a lot of people don't understand that you are actually enough. God's already made you with an incredible future, right here. He's created you with a beautiful, beautiful future. So you should already believe you're enough. A lot of people don't believe they're enough. They don't believe they have enough capability. They don't believe they have enough in them. Now, this beautiful specimen that you see before you is called a self-audit. So every 90 days, every 60 days, I do it. I'm starting to do it regularly, right? But I'm literally writing down, right? I put my name in the middle and I have a spider diagram, and I actually write down all of the gifts, abilities, talents that I actually have today. And not just that, the roles that I'm actually playing in life. This is why I'm saying to you guys right now, you are enough. Don't worry about what anyone else is telling you. You are enough. Put it in the chat box. I want the chat box to be active. I don't want you guys to be, if you guys can get your cameras on as well. I want to see you guys' beautiful faces. Let's listen. My camera's on. Show me you guys' faces. Don't be shy now. Don't be hiding behind the camera now, right? When you go to an event, do you wear a mask on your face? No. Put in the chat box, I am enough. Because this right here demonstrates everything that I am right now. And there's so much more I could have written. So I've got father, believer, husband, son, entrepreneur, uncle, godson, grandson, visionary, coach, connector, mentor, speaker, architect, business builder, conqueror, Christian, diplomat, brother, action taker, activist, influencer, giver, leader, investor, right? You are enough. So this mantra, I'm going to take it across the world. The biggest conferences in the world, which I'll be speaking at in the next 12 months, I'm going to tell you guys right now, this mantra, you're going to hear it everywhere. You heard it here first. This is created yesterday. Okay? God told me to make it. I made it. I am enough. That's the first part of the mantra. The second part of the mantra is, I have the power to create my future. Okay? I'm going to share it right here so you guys can see, right? I have the power to create my future. What future are you creating today? Okay? The third one is, I am limitless. There's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's a movie called Limitless, where the guy, me and my wife love this movie, where this guy takes this pill, right? And he's enlightened. He has enlightenment in his spirit. And he's able to create. Listen, this film, you've got to watch it. I mean, I don't watch loads of films. I watch a few films that help me, like, inspire me. I'm not going to sit there and watch, some random film, Donkey Kong or whatever it is, right? I'm going to watch a film that's going to educate me. And Limitless is incredible. The guy literally takes this pill and he's able to do supernatural things. He's able to have cognitive function. His neural pathways have been cleared, where now he's literally cleaning his whole house and he's writing books in 24 hours. That is what I believe. All of us on this call, we're all gods. Right? Not uppercase G, lowercase g. We were created with creative power. We are gods. Right? So we have the power to create our future. The next thing is, I am limitless. And lastly is, I am a momentum creator. This is called the high energy mantra. You're going to see this everywhere. I'm telling you, this is going to be I'm going to get t-shirts, merchandise, right? We're going to have cups. We're going to give out a lot of stuff. This is going to be a mantra, because people in this world are on their last legs. And I've realized God's given me this gift to be the voice for everybody in the world. To be the voice for those that have no voice. To be the voice for the voiceless. To be those that can help. I can literally, God's given me a gift to articulate myself, where someone could be cured from depression by one conversation with me. I had a friend that called me today, and very dear friend. I've known this person for over 6 years, about 6 or 7 years. They went through a very traumatic experience recently, and they were outside of the UK. They came back to the UK, called me today at 6. I was in the gym. I left the gym, and we had a conversation. And literally, they were like, "Listen, Derek, you have no idea. You've literally healed me. This is what." You have been given the same gift. And this mantra at the bottom here, it says, I put all the words together. It says, enough power. I should even capitalize this, because this is actually part of the mantra too, right? Enough power. So as you can see, I've made the mantra where there's affirmations here, but all of them linked together. That's how you know it was inspired by God. It wasn't inspired by me. It was literally him. He told me, listen, this is what you want. And I actually had the word, I am powerful, right? But I crossed it out and I put limitless because we are limitless. And the mantra is enough power to create limitless momentum. This is the formula. Put it in the chat box. I want you guys to light up the chat box with I am enough. I have the power to create my future. I am limitless. I am a momentum creator. Why do you think the word momentum, right? In the word momentum is the word moment. In the word moment is the word men. In the word men is the word me. That didn't come from me, by the way. My mentor many years ago, shout out to David Imaniti, man. He showed me that. And it changed my life. Because he's saying to me, listen, your life is full of several different moments. There's a moment here, a moment there, a moment there, a moment here. And as you're moving through your life, there are moments that create momentum. You have enough power inside of you to create limitless moments that will cause momentum. That's good, right? Think about it. Now, there's several moments, there's gazillion moments that are created in time and space. What did Bob Proctor teach us? Bob Proctor taught, rest in peace to Bob Proctor. He said that energy is not created or destroyed. It just transitions. So when someone passes away, they haven't gone. They're still here. His spirit still lives with me. Bob Proctor still talks to me every day. One of my 10 people that I put in my imaginary table of people that I want to be in. I've got David there. I've got Jim Rohn there. I've got Bob Proctor there. I've got Allen Iverson there, right? I've got a couple guys that are in that table where if I had a chance to get 10 of my closest mentors around one table, these are the people that I would have. And the crazy thing about it is, you are a momentum creator. Wherever you put after the word I am goes into creative motion. So stop being careless. And guys, look, I'm not perfect. Every day I slip up. I say things I shouldn't say. Trust me, I'm not perfect. I need help just like all of us do. But I understand this law. It's a law. Laws can't be broken. The law of gravity can't be broken. There's a law that says if you do something crazy out there, you will get penalized for it. It's a law. Now, energy is not created or destroyed. It just transitions. So if you feel angry right now, you can turn that energy into something else. The anger doesn't go away. It's still there, but it's been transferred from one form to the next. Let me give you guys an example of this, right? Before I continue, screenshot this formula, right? Screenshot this right now. Put it on your social media, tag me, whatever you got to do. This is the formula we need to work with. This is a formula. If you're feeling down, you say this, right? Just 4 affirmations. You don't need to say all these 55 affirmations. Say these 4. And I'm telling you, I made this yesterday and I'm already feeling lit. The Derek that you met last year, some of you haven't seen me in a couple of months, couple of years, you will not recognize me in 90 days from now. I'm telling you, I'm on a different level. You will not recognize me. I'm telling you. But these words have made me realize I am enough. I have the power to create my future. I am limitless. I am a momentum creator. Enough power to create endless, limitless momentum. I am limitless. There is no limit to what you can accomplish. This is not motivation, by the way. This is the truth. This is me teaching you what your higher self would be teaching you if you were connected to your higher self. This is important, right? Now look at this, guys, right? How is energy? Why did I say that energy is not created or destroyed? You know why? Because if I get this coffee right here, right? Shout out to the boy 19. I got the Supermind. Oh, listen, if you did, oh my gosh, sheesh. Shout out to 19 Keys, man. We had an incredible week with him, and it's lit. It's truly lit, right? Let's say if I have water, right? This has got water in it, right? This water, if I put it in the freezer, what happens? Let me know in the chat. If I put this in the freezer, what happens? It freezes. It turns into a different form. It turns into a different state. Okay, we got it. You got it. Now tell me this. What happens if this state of freezing, if you pull it in the pot, in a hot pot, and you boil these ice cubes, it dissipates into what's the word? Steam. And now it dissipates, it's gone. But now it goes into the atmosphere. And now it's a part of oxygen. Now you breathe it in. And it circulates around where you are. Right? That's the power. That's what I'm saying. Your words, and going back to the first point, conscious thought times action equals manifestation. And the reason why I said to you guys, you are enough, is because I want you guys to write this diagram. Okay? Literally, put your name in the middle. Like, do it now if you can. Or at least set a plan to do it today. Circle, put your name. Derek Joshua Jr. Alexander. 31 years old. And then I've put here 60 to 70 years left. I said, God, listen, I need 70 years. I've got work to do. I need to live until at least 95 years old. At least. And I said, God, I need 100. I need that 100 pack. That's why now I've cut out all fast food. I've cut out alcohol. The only bad thing I might do is cigars, because cigars I'll be smoking cigars forever. But I smoke like 1 or 2 cigars a month, and they're like £400 for one cigar. So, you know, that's like a victory after. So I only smoke a cigar after a win, right? I don't just smoke a cigar in my house, right? It has to be, you know, whatever. That's just a one-off little thing. But no alcohol, no fast food, no fizzy drinks. I mean, yeah, I'll have a cheat day on Sunday. I have some pizza, whatever. But apart from that, we're locked in, right? Coffee, black coffee, no sugar, no salt, no sugar, no milk, nothing, right? Cutting out all these chemical stuff. It's done. Natural products on my body. That's the type of vibration. You know why? Because I've got a long time. I need more time. I need 60 to 70 years. I've even put here 60 to 70 years left. I'm not playing around. We've got work to do. People's lives need to be transformed. We got work to do. We got places to go. I've been to 21 countries. I got to get to 109. There's 197 countries. I got to get to 197. It's 195. And then you got the Vatican and Monaco, which are other principalities, right? But it's about let's say 200 countries. And now I've put all my roles. The reason why I've done this is because I wanted to remind myself I'm enough. You are enough. Write this diagram and put all the things that you are. Your son, your daughter, whatever you've got, all the different roles that you have. Connector, architect, builder, entrepreneur, speaker, singer, swimmer, fitness coach. You have what it takes to be a great in whatever capacity. Okay, we got that now, right? Conscious thoughts times action equals manifestation. Okay? Now, when I times the conscious, now we've got the conscious thought. The conscious thought is you know what you want. We've covered that, right? We've done the affirmation, I am enough, right? We now know our conscious thoughts have to be the right way, because then the subconscious thoughts are automatic. If you program your mind a certain way with conscious thoughts, repetitive conscious thoughts, it will go into your subconscious, which now means it changes your behavior. Okay? There's a difference between a thought and thinking. A thought comes into your mind, in your conscious mind, and if you let this thought lodge in your brain for long enough, it becomes part of your thinking, and then that influences your behavior. When someone says they have trauma or they have this, it's basically unhealed emotions that haven't been dealt with, and it's now formed in your subconscious mind. So another word for trauma would be subconscious programming. So people say, oh, that's just how I am. That's because you've allowed whatever's happened to form in your subconscious mind. Okay? So how do we deal with that? Well, I'm going to tell you, by the action. Okay? Action. Action is the key, because now we have to put things in motion. Now, I was reading a study yesterday about a gentleman called King Norman. You might know him as King of the Normans. He was called William the Conqueror. He was alive in the 1000s. So we're talking about 957 years ago, he passed away. He was the first king of England who wasn't English. So basically, you had the English colony, you had the Normans. Normans originate from a place called Normandy in France. You might have heard of Normandy, right? So basically, they had a back and forth, and one of the kings either passed away or he gave his title up. The next king of England was supposed to be another guy, and then he was like, yeah, I'm the king now. And then William the Conqueror, who's from Normandy, was like, I want England. I want to be the king of England. So he said, let's go to war. They started fighting. Now, here's the thing about action. Remember I said conscious thought times action equals manifestation, right? Stay with me. I'm going somewhere, right? Are you guys with me? Right? Put a 7 in the chat if you guys are getting it. It's a lot of information right now, but we're getting somewhere. I'm pacing myself right now, okay? It's one thing to do the action. Watch this, guys. This is very, very important. It's one thing to do the action. It's another thing to do it the right way. So action is key, but it's about how the action is being demonstrated, right? It's not what you do, it's how you do it, okay? And success is doing things in a certain way. That is the definition of, or the meaning of success to a lot of us in this self-development space, right? So action is not just doing the action because you want to do it. It's now doing it in a skilled way where now you're working smart and not hard. And that's why AI is so important, right? You know, that's why AI is so important, because now we have the chance to leverage ourselves and create several of us who can do the work that we're not doing or don't have to do. We could be out and AI could be working for you, automating your process. Okay? And for those that are entrepreneurs on this call, you want, and even doesn't matter what you're doing, right? But if you're entrepreneur, if you want to really scale, it's time to, AI is now taking over, right? Amazon just lost 80,000 jobs. It will get worse. Next year, most jobs that can be replaced will be replaced and people will be out of work. So what is going to happen now? It's about the right action. But anyway, back to the story. So King Norman is now like, he's ready. He's lining up with his men in the red corner, right? In the blue corner, it's the King of England. And he's like, I'm not having this, mate. You ain't coming to my country and becoming the King of England. And he's like, hey, bonjour. He's going crazy. He's ready. He got the beret on. I'm sure he wore this hat to the war, right? This beret, the French hat. You know what I'm saying? This is more than just a beret. This hat is different. I'll explain to you another day. You know why I wear this now, but this is part of my uniform now, right? But anyway, they start fighting. Now here's what happened: is people were expecting the King of England and his army to win because of its home advantage. You know, England had a powerful colony at the time, but now the King of Normandy, here's what happened. He won the war and became the King of England. As a matter of fact, in 1066, you might have heard about the Battle of Hastings and the Doomsday Book, right? That whole situation was formed by him winning the war. But here's how he won. He won because, let me actually see if I can read it out. It's so powerful. Right? Let me see if I can actually read it. I want you to read it exactly how. Invasion of England. Can't find it. But basically, he won the war. Yeah, I can't find it. But basically, I know what happened. Anyway. I'll tell you what happened. I went exactly how he read it. Basically, the King of England came with just shields and swords. But the King of Normandy came with horses, and the arrows. So now they have advantage because now it's arrows and horses. They won the war. He became the King of England in 1966, and he's today one of the biggest kings of all time. And he actually created a lot of the laws that we have today. And that's what Keys was talking about the other day is, you know, they started to create this system where he got everybody in the UK to sign this book. It's very similar to what's happening next year, right? There's no surprises. And he got everyone to get on the same page. But why did I say that story? Because we have to understand it's not just doing the action, it's how we're doing it. It's strategy. How are we going to move forward and hit our goals and our dreams? Okay, now the training begins, right? The law of reciprocity. This is one of the ways, one of the strategies that we're going to actually get there. The law of reciprocity is called the energy exchange. And what this basically is, it's a law that says whatever you give, you'll get back. Now, I was talking to a gentleman yesterday about this. He's actually a famous referee. He referees a lot of big matches, like football matches. And I was talking to him, and we were talking about basically the art of doing your best work. Now, for example, right? You could be, you're an entrepreneur right now, and you're posting stuff on social media about your company, about your brand, whatever you're doing, right? And let's say you're waiting. Now, you know what? I'm not going to give my best stuff because, you know, they got to pay for this. That's actually not the right thing to do. Because the law of reciprocity says, as we give our best, our energy, our love to people, right? What's going to happen is naturally we are going to level up because there'll be room. There'll be room for us to maneuver and level up anyway and get more value to the people. So the reason why I said that is because we have to understand that in this world today, everyone is so self-centered. And I was talking to my friend this morning about it, and I was saying to her, like, I've had to pour into my cup twice as much because now there's way more people that look to me for leadership. Not just in my network marketing business, but even outside of it. People that want to actually consult me for certain things. Say, Derek, listen, I need your help with this. My mind is going crazy. I know you're the motivation guy. Can you help me? But I understand I can give, but I need to fill my cup so I can actually make sure that you're good. Does that make sense? And so as we're building forward, as we're building our teams, our communities, our businesses, and our families, it's very important to understand that you give your best. Like if someone asks me a question about something, I'm going to give them a detailed answer. I'm going to make sure I get back to them because that person might be on their last legs. And this is part of society, why society is shifting, because a lot of people are so focused on their own journey. And I believe, yes, you should be pouring into your cup. But that's why I believe in spending time, an hour, 2 hours a day studying. Right now, I'm reading a book called The Alchemist, right? And I've got a couple more books that I'm going to be studying. I've got 2 books that I'm ordering right now that I'm going to be studying. And I've got a couple others as well. And this is why I say it's very important to study, because you are able to pour back into people's lives. Couple of books here that I'm going to get into this probably next month. Nelson Mandela, No Easy Walk to Freedom. I got this book in Ghana many years ago. Hung by the Tongue. This book talks about the words, the power of words. Tony Robbins, Unshakable, right? There's a few of them that I'm studying right now, but one at a time, of course. But these are some that are also in the list of books, right? We have to grow. We cannot stay the same. If you're not growing, unfortunately, you're dying. In this world, there is no gray area. There is no such thing as I'm halfway there. It's either you're in or you're out. That's how the world works. That's why I told you guys to write this down. And that's why we have the affirmation, I am enough. Because a lot of the time, you don't even understand you're so powerful. Do you know how powerful you are? Guys, I'm talking to all of you individually now. Do you know how powerful you are? Do you know that you have gifts that you haven't unearthed? I'm starting my podcast. I've been waiting for the perfect time. Oh, it's not the right time. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. The High Energy Podcast. Why? Because you know why? I say, you know what? I've got 60 years left, 70 years, maybe 50 years, I ain't got that long left. I've got to do it now. I'm not going to wait for the perfect time. I'm writing my book. Why? It's time for it. People need to hear this information. I've got a gift from God. You've got a gift from God. What are you waiting for? And one thing I would recommend as well is have some people to be accountable to. Hey, listen, I'm starting this. Can you help me with this? Because if you don't start it, then someone will start it and do what you were supposed to do. You see, God works very, very, very mysteriously. He will give you an idea. If you don't implement it, his will be done. He will find somebody to do what you were not willing to do. Right? Let me know in the chat if that makes sense. That is the truth. Right? I've got so many guests lined up for this podcast already. It's going to happen. Right? Because it's a choice that's been made. Right? It's his will be done. It's going to happen. So the point is, how are we going to build? Let's get into the real stuff right now. Now, let's talk about this. Cover the mindset. Let's talk about building. How are we going to build? Now, we had the chance to spend time with a gentleman that I can say is the real deal, right? And was with him over the past couple of days. And we're talking about a couple of things, and branding came to mind. As now you got the mindset, you understand the mantra, right? I am enough. Say it after me. I know I can't hear you, but say it. I am enough. I am enough. Okay, that's the first part. Next one is I have the power to create my future. You're a futurist. Every single day, you have the power to create your future. Next one is I am limitless. Next one, last one. This one right here is powerful. I am a momentum creator. You create momentum. I have enough power, right, to create momentum. Limitless momentum. That's the mantra, okay? Anyway, branding. And this is the key thing, right? As you're building, every single one of you need to have social media. It's no longer, we gotta, old school. Nah. With the power of AI coming out, with the things that are happening in the UK, and I know we've got an international call, social media branding and positioning is at an absolute must now. And the reason why I'm saying that now, I wouldn't have said that a year ago, but I think because of how advanced AI is right now, we're literally at war with the very thing that we created. And I love AI. I think AI is incredible. But there's been many interviews from a lot of people, and shout out to Diary of a CEO, man, Stephen Bartlett. He is definitely up there with the greatest thought leaders right now in the world. Stephen Bartlett is interviewing Kamala Harris. He's interviewing some of the people that you would never hear on a podcast. He's getting them on. So he is truly a national treasure right now. And he is, top tier. And the guy that created AI said this, that we are literally at war. If we don't advance ourselves, if we don't learn these systems, AI will end up taking over. There's even rumors that AI, the robots will get so powerful, they'll destroy human beings. What are we going to do? We have to get savvy online. We have to start branding and positioning ourselves as authority figures in our fields. Whatever you're doing, go and call a photographer today, hire a photographer, go and take some pictures, clean pictures, edit them. That's a prerequisite. I've got pictures that I use, for my brand. Pick your brand colors. Pick your brand colors, pick your brand voice, and decide to create evergreen content. And I learned this from shout out to Nehemiah Davis, got the same name as he's the only person that I know actually that's called Nehemiah apart from my son, right? Nehemiah Davis is a beast. He's also in that same circle with Keys and all those guys. He's a very, very successful entrepreneur. If you're not following him, he's on social media, Nehemiah Davis. And he talks about creating evergreen content. As you're building your brand, now for those that are obviously in the network marketing space, right? Or some of you are in the coaching space, make content that can be consistently posted year after year. You could remap it, you can rejig it and post it again on different platforms. Evergreen content will keep your name relevant throughout the years, right? And that's something that I really love about a lot of these content creators right now. Because creating your brand identity and making yourself different, making yourself heard. Now, this leads me on to my next point. Don't be afraid to reinvent yourself. Because as you're branding yourself on social media, I purposely don't want to be like everybody else. My voice is different to the others. I have mentors that I get stuff from, and I take what I like, what I don't like, I leave it on the plate. And I've created this person. I've created this individual, Derek Alexander. This person has been formed because I've been intentional on my brand, how I show up, how I dress, how I speak, how I articulate myself, right? You can tell I do a lot of reading because I'm articulate. I have an unlimited vocabulary because I read, I study. Study to show yourself approved. For you to be approved by somebody as a figure of authority, you have to study. You have to get your head in the book. Listen, I believe in studying at least an hour a day. Listen to audios, right? Read the physical books. Whatever you have to do, study. And don't just study network marketing. If you're in network marketing, if you're in my team, don't study life. Because you're helping someone get from where they are right now to where they need to be. Study like financial books. Like there's books that listen, I'm telling you, it's going to be crazy because it's another level now that I'm looking at. I'm looking at, okay, forget about me making 7 figures. We need to help 10 people in this community right now make 7 figures in the next 12 months. Guys, let me know in the chat. Who's going to be the 7-figure earners? Let me know. Put seven in the chat if you're going to be a 7-figure earner. I don't know. Like, talk to me. Because we need 10 of y'all to be there. 10 of you got to do it. Me and Kat never look at our goal. We look at who are we going to help. You are next up. But study. Studying is key because every day I'm reading another book right now. That's by Chancellor Williams. Okay, the book was written in 1971. It's a 9-hour audio. I'm studying it right now. Why? Because I understand, and this book is a historical book, but everything that he's talking about, I can relate it to life, and I can teach my team certain things from it. That's the power of studying. I want you guys to commit yourself. Turn off the Netflix. Listen, I understand. Listen. I understand what it's like to be a doom scroller on social media. You go on Instagram and you're scrolling through Instagram. I understand. And I actually read it. There was a guy talking about dopamine. So dopamine is a part of your brain. It's the reward center of the brain. So what happens is you're going on your phone and what happens, you go onto Instagram and you go into the explore page. Now you click on one post and you laugh and you go to the next one and you're looking for something to satisfy you. That's what dopamine is. The same exact part of the brain that is addicted to social media is also the same thing that's addicted to drugs and alcohol and gambling. They're all in the same category. Now, I'm not saying social media makes you addicted. I'm saying if you don't use social media, abuse social media. I try not to scroll anymore. I'm in and I'm out. I'm posting, I'm connecting with dope individuals. I'm doing my Instagram live, I'm doing my content, and I'm out the door because we have to position ourselves and brand up. Time is running out, guys. I'm telling you, time is running out. It's now or never. We've got literally 60 days to get ourselves together because by 2026, it's coming hot and fast. It's going to be a different world. They reset the world every 5 to 10 years. It's happening right now. They're resetting the world again. It's the Great Reset. It's the Great Reset. It's happening. So we have to be authority figures online and position ourselves as figures of authority for our own individual communities. That's going to cause us to have success. That's why I'm doing the podcast, because podcasts bring authority. Now, I got so much game, man. I mean, this call could be so long, but I don't want to keep you guys for too long, man. Can I talk a little bit? I got too much game on this. I got the notes I've got here crazy. Branding. I want you guys to go ahead and write down on a piece of paper, like, you know, and I can relate to this, and I'm sure you guys can all relate to this as well, right? A lot of us are scared to be in our own thoughts and actually sit down and listen to our own self. And I've started to get better at this, but for many years I was scared of listening to my own voice. So I would have to be busy. I'll go here. And I'm trying to keep busy because I don't want to confront my own thoughts. But recently, I've got really good at it now. I can sit down. It's called deep work, right? And again, 19 Keys was talking about this again, right? He was talking about the ability to sit down and study or sit down in silence for 30 minutes. Forget about business, whatever. Put your phone on Do Not Disturb and sit down, meditate. And there's something called a 432 hertz frequency. Basically, the frequency of music that we normally see, I think it's 440 hertz. So all the music that we see, a lot of the mainstream artists, all of their music is on a certain frequency because it actually goes into your brain a certain way and it shapes your brain. It reshapes your brain. That's why a lot of people that listen to certain types of music, like, I like music. I'm not saying I listen to music, right? But you know, listen, Tupac's my favorite artist of all time. So he's deep, right? Let's be honest. But not over. I like Tupac more for what he done for us as a people rather than just the music. But both of it is fine, but not every day, right? I listen to as much positive music as I can because it can actually reshape your brain. I must be honest, right? But there's a certain frequency called the 432 hertz frequency. This is the frequency that actually reshapes your mind in a positive way. So put on some 432 hertz meditation music and just sit there and think. And you're going to see thoughts will start coming through. And you'll start to understand, right, what you have to do to get to the next level. It's a powerful thing. When I say I am enough, you are enough. Yes, you're growing. But God put a seed in every single one of us, and that seed needs to be watered. And guess what the water is? The water is the audios, The water is the mentorship. But he's already given you the seed. He's given you a life. He's put a seed inside of you of greatness. But some people have decided to take it. Michael Jordan took, he used that seed and watered it and turned into the best, one of the best, if not the best athlete of all time. Muhammad Ali, rest in peace. All these great people that you see, leaders, mindset coaches, thought leaders, athletes, the greatest people of all time, they have watered the seed a little bit more than us. So how are we going to get to the next level? Well, sit down, just write down who you are. When's the last time you sat down, cut out all the noise, put your phone off, and just wrote down, who am I? My name is Derek Alexander. I want to do this. I will do this. I will do this. This is my goal for this year. I don't like this. This is my pet peeve. This is what I don't like. Most people don't even know who they are. If you ask me, who am I? I'm not going to say Derek Alexander. I'm a God. I'm a king. I'm someone who can create my future. I'm a creator. I'm a connector. I build and not destroy. Right? I'm able to transfer energy from one conscious thought to another. That's how I am. I'm not perfect, but if I get pissed off, I'm learning how to turn that into positive in like 5 seconds. I can do it now. It takes time. The mind is a machine. You have to master it. We talk about AI, but I am AI. You are AI. We are AI. Right? We're different. Right? I don't call it artificial intelligence. I call it aligned intelligence. That's what AI is to me. The human version of AI is aligned intelligence. If you're aligned with the higher power, if you're aligned with God, if you're aligned with the ether, if you read the book, Science of Getting Rich, it talks about the ether. And the ether is basically creative space. So we're living in a world, for example, right? You go to Las Vegas, and if you've ever been to Vegas, I've been to Vegas 4 times, right? When you fly into Vegas, especially at night, even during the day, you will see just pure desert. It's scary. All you see is a little strip of Vegas Strip. And obviously Vegas has other parts, like where Eric Worre lives, like, you know what I mean? There's a lot of other places in Vegas, like on the outskirts, but the actual strip is only one strip, and outside of it is just pure desert. And there's so much land that hasn't been built on. And the crazy thing about this world and how powerful God is that it's an unlimited source. Even in 1,000,000 years, I'm sure all of that land won't be built on. That is called the ether. That is the unlimited source you can tap into. So don't have a scarcity mindset. If you try to prospect someone hey, come have a look at Jiffy, man. No, wealth makers, and they say no. Why are you so stressed? I don't get stressed. I'm like, great. You don't want to join? Perfect. There's a reason why. Maybe you would have wasted my time. And I find someone that says, Derek, I want to join so bad. I want to be a part of this community. And they sign up by the drop of a hat. You know why? Because God was saying, you know what? I'm going to give you the people that are hungry. There is an unlimited source. That's why in the affirmation, in the high energy mantra, it says, I am limitless. Why? Because you are limitless. There's an unlimited potential you can tap into every single day. So basically, in the thinking, in the Science of Getting Rich, Wallace D. Wattles said that you have, it's called formless substance. And let me read out to you. This is something that I'm literally going to tell you. This right here is one of the most powerful statements. If you can memorize this, right? I haven't memorized it, obviously, but I will. The Science of Getting Rich, right? This right here is, man, it is a powerful statement. It's a very powerful statement. Okay? It's a very powerful, I'm telling you, man. Science of Getting Rich. Where is it? Science of Getting Rich. quote. Formless substance. When I read it to you, you understand what I'm trying to say. Here we go. No, that's not it. Hold on. Here we go. So here it is, right? It says so here it is. And this talks about everything that I've been talking about is you can program your mind through the affirmations, through being around people that are of a higher level than you, right? Here it is. There is a thinking stuff from which all things are made, and which in its original state permeates, penetrates, and fills the interspaces of the universe. A thought in this substance produces the thing that is imaged by the thought. Man can form things in his thought, and by impressing his thought upon formless substance can cause the thing he thinks about to be created. This formula is absolutely phenomenal. And Wallace D. Wattles, God bless him, he really broke that down. So why am I saying this? Because we're talking about building. We're talking about being builders. We're talking about building our brand. We're talking about building ourselves to, 100,000 a month. It's nothing. I know people that make 100,000 a month, 100,000 a week. I was talking to a guy, Mr. Daniel Fryer. He lives in Dubai. He makes $650,000 a month. He's in this company that we're a part of. He's the #1 earner in the company. I had a call with him. He looks just like you and me. Couple of gray hairs, It's possible. There is no limits to what you can do. It's down to you. Do you believe it? Do you believe you're worth it? And another thing is, you have to believe you're worth that amount of money. And that's why I say study is so important. Because as you're studying, you find out more about yourself. You become more self-assured. And you understand how to lead. Leaders are readers. They understand that knowledge is not just something that is read. I'm not just going to read a book for the sake of it. But my son, I can give him so much game. I've got 5 years left. After 5 years, his mind has been set. When a child hits 7 years old, right, his self-esteem has been formed. So when it hits 7 is when his conscience begins. Before 7, he doesn't really have a conscience, doesn't understand right from wrong. He might say, sorry, daddy, love you, daddy, But after 7 is when his conscience kicks in. I've got 5 years left. And we've done a pretty damn good job so far programming this young man. Right? We love you, son. We appreciate you. You're a king. I say it every day to him. Every single day, you are a king. You are amazing. You're going to win. Don't let anybody intimidate you. Right? Don't let anyone play with you. You are a king. You're a king man. Your mom and dad are royalty. You're royalty. I'm drilling it into him from now. You're a god. You can create. So from young, I didn't have that program when I was younger. I had to go through several things, prison and trauma and this, that, and, gang violence and all these things. Then I came out of that lifestyle. And then in my early 20s, I had to reform, or I had to recreate. It says, renewing your mind. I had to renew my mind. Right? And that's the key. I had to renew my mind. Right? And what I had to do is I had to look at my brain, and I had to actually think about, how am I going to program? Now, right now, if you are building your business and you're wondering, how am I going to get to director? How am I going to get to 5K a month? How am I going to get to 25,000 a month? Okay? You have to think like that person today. Okay? And there is two parts of the brain, right? You've got your conscious mind right here and your subconscious mind right here. Okay? And what happens is your conscious mind is the part of the brain where you have active thoughts. So every single day you have active thoughts that are coming in, right? Thought comes in here, thought comes in here, thought comes in here. Should I go to the gym today? And every time you keep saying, I'll go next time, your subconscious mind will now go to your behavior. This is now action. Very, very simple. Okay? So going back to our chat, we're talking about branding, right? Branding is right now here. If we can get to the point where we say, you know what, I'm going to do 5 posts a day. 5 posts a week. I'm going to do 3 posts a week. Whatever we're going to do. Create the content. It forms in your subconscious mind. Everything that you want. Success is in this section here. This is temporary. This is a paradigm. And a paradigm, my friends, is where you have a multitude of habits that are formed. And Bob Proctor said a paradigm, the definition of it is a multitude of habits that are formed in the subconscious mind that forms your actions and develops your habits. And most of your behavior is habitual. It forms your habits. So what habits do we have today? Right? Do you have a habit of scrolling? Do you have a habit of being on social media, just scrolling endlessly and looking at all the celebrities, what all the celebrities are doing, and looking at what everyone else's life is doing, but not worrying about your own life? The key thing to understand is we are living in a world right now where we have to be aware of what's happening around us, right? As I close, as we close, I've got so much, I'm going to drop it next week, right? But as we close, guys, you know, conscious thought times action equals manifestation. So the action, the strategies, get together with your mentor, find out exactly what it is. We spoke about the mindset side. But now the action aspect is doing, and this is the thing. You could listen to this training. I know you've been inspired. I know you're ready to go and win. But I would say to you, the toughest thing is not learning. The toughest thing is actually deciding to apply it. Okay? And there is something called the success balance scale. The success balance scale is a scale from 1 to 10, right? 1 here, 10 here. Now, there's 2 things that you have to be very mindful of, right? The first thing is, what is your willingness to learn? The next thing is, what is your willingness to change? This is the biggest lesson. There's a scale here. Now, most people, if I say to you, hey, what's your willingness to learn? I'm on the call. I'm ready. I've got my notes. I'm fired up. Let's go. Let's win. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You start getting fired up and, you know, you're ready. So for most people, they would say their willingness to learn is a 10. Now, what's your willingness to change? Now, this is where it equals out and it kind of levels you out. Because some people, they listen to something, they go to an event, a rally, a conference, a function, and they don't implement what they've actually been learning. I had time to spend with Mr. 19 Keys I had 3 separate meetings with him. And shout out to Monique for the plug. She actually interviewed 19 Keys last week. She's like, Derek, you got to come to the event. And he gave game. He is the truth. If you haven't studied this guy, I would recommend. You know what I mean? It takes a lot for me to be impressed. Because I've been mentored by billionaires before. I've been mentored by some of the greatest mentors in the world, right? After getting 9 years of direct mentorship from David and Manitier, it's very hard for me to say that person's the truth, because I've been mentored by someone who I believe is the best. He's the greatest network marketer of all time. I think David is the best. So to be mentored by the best and having to go and find someone else that can be that another voice wasn't easy. When I heard him speak, I was like, you know what? That's similar level. That's literally the same level or even higher. The level that this guy was talking about, it was great. But the difference is, I'm not one that just goes to events for the sake of going to events just to cut my hands. I go to get information and apply it to my life. I've already applied 5 or 6 things that he told me to do. I had a couple of questions for him. You know, I'm not big on the whole fan thing. I'm like, listen, he's a multi-millionaire. He gets paid $100,000 a speech. He goes to an event, speaks for half an hour, $100,000. That's called mastery. He's mastered the game. He's a savant. He's mastered it. World class. I asked him a couple of questions. He told me what books to read. He told me what things to do. I've already got the books ordered. I'm not playing around. I'm not here to play games. It's you know, that's the difference. Is a lot of people go to these events, they get excited. Oh man, David, this person, oh man. And then they go home and they forget everything that they learned. After 24 hours, if you don't implement it, the motivation wears away and it just turns out to be another event that you attended. Not me. I've got notes. I've already implemented 5 or 6 things, right? Podcast set up, boom, studio booked, not playing no games. We're ready, because you need to have voices that can actually help you to change. Mentors, right? I consider him a mentor now, because the information was like, oh my gosh, I got it. I figured it out. Right? And that's what I want you guys to understand. These trainings, these calls that we're on, don't just be on to be on. Decide, okay, what am I going to take from this? What am I going to implement today from what he told me to do? And I'm giving you guys some game right now. I'm going to give you guys about a few things to do, and let's get you guys on the right path. But anyway, most people, a willingness to change. Let's just say if you're a 0. Okay, let's say if you're a 0, and the success balance scale is, it works by a formula. So it's this number times this number will give you what scale you're on. So 10 times 0 is a big fat 0. It's exactly the way David used to say it as well. Exactly the way he used to say it. I'm a good student. I have good mentors, but I study my mentors. I study if I pick you as a mentor, I'm going to be like you. I'm going to talk like you. Who is your mentor? Who are you following? Because mentorship is not a joke. Mentorship is serious. It's a very serious thing. A mentor is someone that's going to be, a guiding light for your life. So get information and apply it. But anyway, let's say your willingness to change is a 10. 10 times 10 is 100. If your willingness to change is an 8, that's 80, right? And whatever number it is, if it's below a 70, you've got work to do. It should be at least an 8, 9, or 10 to be at the level where you are now willing to change. I'm going to give you guys a few things to do, right? Now, there are a couple of fundamental things to study, okay? I want you guys to pick one book, right? one book on leadership. Now, the reason why I say it's a very generic thing. There's obviously deeper books that I wouldn't recommend to every single person. I don't think everyone's ready for certain books that I might be reading now because it's a different level. Okay? But at the very beginning, I'm talking to those who are at the very beginning. If you're at the beginning of your journey as an entrepreneur, or if you're just new in this whole mindset space, manifestation, put a 1 in the chat. Don't be shy. If you're new, I ain't talking to the golden oldies, you guys that have read all the books already. For those that are new, who are the people that are new in the industry? You're new in network marketing, you're new in trading, and some of you are entrepreneurs doing other things. I know some of you have invited are in other businesses, other things. Okay, cool. So my newbies, okay? You want to have leadership. There's a couple of books I would recommend, right? And I'm just gonna type it instead to make it easier, right? And I'm gonna give you guys a couple of books. Now, I would recommend for you guys to study, okay? This is the first step. This is practical advice. Because you have a motivational session where I could just motivate you guys and then that's it. No, we're gonna create this success. We're gonna help you guys actually create the 6-figure lifestyle you're looking for. But it begins with the study. So you must commit, right, to 1 hour per day of studying. It doesn't matter how busy your life is. I don't want to hear it. Okay? If you want the success, you will make it happen. There's no excuse. 1 hour studying per day, mandatory. I do 2 hours. I done my hour already this morning. I'm gonna do another hour. I could do it today. I could do it in the evening after we do all the rank lock-ins and we get the team, all situated. And that is 2 hours. For me, it's 2 hours. If you're really, really hungry, it's 2 hours. But the studying is very important. Now, you must do a self-audit. Okay? Write down your talents, your gifts, your abilities, right? You must do that. Okay? That's the first thing. Because you cannot, I was talking to a guy today, he's like, oh, I want to help people. I said, yeah, I know you want to help people. Everyone wants to help people, but you need to be at the level where your cup is full. You can't help someone if you don't help you. You've got to look after yourself. You've got to make sure you are on point before you start mentoring and calling yourself a coach. Everyone's a coach or everyone's a mentor. No, to be a mentor or coach, you have to study to show yourself approved. Right? And that's the key. Self-audit. Second thing is books, right? I'm gonna put that in there anyway. So, and we're gonna get action these things. Next week, I'm gonna ask you guys how far you've come. So books, right? So 1 on leadership. Okay. Leadership book. Okay. Now there are a couple of books I would recommend, but I think it's more of a thing where you might be on different journeys, right? But a book that I recommend to start with is a book. There's 2 books I would recommend: Rich Dad Poor Dad, and a book by John C. Maxwell called Developing the Leader Within You. Okay, so you can put 1 to 2 on leadership, right? That's fine. Okay, and Rich Dad Poor Dad, yeah, that's a good book to start with. And then Developing the Leader Within You. This book has really helped me a lot. Yeah, it gives you the blueprint for becoming a leader. Because if you don't know how to lead yourself, you can't lead others. Okay? Then 1 to 2 on the mind. Okay? On mindset. So now, I don't recommend Think and Grow Rich at the beginning. I don't think, people talk about it sounds so good to say it, right? I don't think that's the book you should start with. That book is maybe 2 or 3 books in. Okay? 2 or 3 books in. It's very deep. I recommend The Secret. The Secret is very simple to understand. We're talking to the newbies here. We're not talking to the people that are like, hey, Derek, no. If you're new in personal development, if you're new in, so Think and Grow Rich might be too much. I'm not no scholar. I'm talking like, I remember when I was brand new in this industry, right? The Secret is a book that I recommend because it talks about how to activate law of attraction. Now, don't get it twisted. You have to apply the action. Don't just read it and say, oh, I'm going to be a manifester. No, you have to actually do the work. But this book really does help you with creating that mindset, creating this thought, right? Creating, the ability to create what you want, right? It is a good place to start. The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. Just type in The Secret, you'll find it. Okay? That's a good book to start with. Gives you a lot of facts about things, gives you a lot of understanding about the mind. Okay? There's a couple others. You've got Think and Grow Rich, you've got Science of Getting Rich. But those are all quite deep. I think one that really does strike me as well for newbies is You Were Born Rich. This is by Bob Proctor. Rest in peace to Bob Proctor. This book is basically a very simple book talking about the mind. And again, what I was saying, you are enough, right? Creating that understanding, okay, of who you are. Okay. Now, spend 1 hour per day studying your craft. Obviously, we do studying on the mind, and that's different, right? But spend another hour, right? Or let's say half an hour to an hour per day, right? So if you're doing trading right now, spend that time looking at the scanners. Spend that time learning and applying what you're learning. Okay, and majority of time is spent doing IPAs, which is called income producing activities, recruiting, building a business, making money from referrals, right? Whatever industry that you're in, you should be focusing on money making activities, because you don't want to get to the point where you're just so busy analyzing everything and you never actually end up, making money. Because you can be that person that's just sitting there planning everything and making fancy Canva templates, and you're not actually doing any work. The work is where the money comes. So you have to prioritize what is going to help you make the money, which then you can pour into your brand and pour into everything that you're doing. Okay? And posting on social media, again, for the average person, okay? We're not going to be bougie here. We're going to be very, very, very understanding, yeah? Posting minimum twice a week, right? Let's say 3 times a week, because really and truly, you need to, yeah? That's it. To start with, this is the starter pack. There's many more things I could say, but this is the beginning, okay? As you get more advanced, there's other books you can study as you get more deeper, but at the beginning, definitely recommend that. And also another book I'd recommend as well, if you're in network marketing, this is for the network marketers, is Building an Empire. Yeah? This is only for those that are building network marketing, right? But good book. So that is it, guys. I really pray you guys got value today. I really pray that you guys understand, the importance of it. Again, as I said, this is the mantra. This is literally going to create nations, right? We're talking with the brothers and sisters over the past couple of days about creating a nation, right? About being the light in this world, creating a movement. This is one of the things that's going to help, right? People are united by one voice. And I've realized that all the biggest nations in the world, we talk about Ibrahim Traore right now, we talk about people that are doing incredible things, people that are killing it in business, people that have, conglomerates and companies. They have one band, one sound. If you walk into the Amazon warehouse, they all wear the same uniform, right? There's a way that they carry themselves, and that's why those movements, whether some movements are no longer here or still here, they were successful. They made an impact on the world. Why? Because they were organized. and they had one band, one sound. They weren't just, going in their own separate way. They were connected. So make sure you're connected to those who are around you. Make sure you're connected to those people who you want to learn from and you want to work with, because let's build together. Okay, let's make it happen. So with that being said, guys, we're gonna end this call here. We're gonna say the affirmations one more time. We don't have time for the other affirmations today because it's been well over time. I was supposed to finish at 11, but I got a bit carried away, right? So I want you guys to repeat this after me, right? And we're gonna say this with energy. We're gonna repeat it with a level of excitement, and we're really going to believe it in our heart. Okay? So let's go. I am enough. I have the power to create my future. I am limitless. I am a momentum creator. One more time. I am enough. I have the power to create my future. I am limitless. I am a momentum creator. And don't forget, guys, that this is the formula, and it says here that enough power to create limitless momentum. This is the game. Okay, guys? Screenshot this formula as well, this to-do list today, guys. And I appreciate every single one of you. I pray that you guys have an incredible week. Let's win. Let's be victorious. Let's conquer. And let's dominate. Have an incredible week, guys. God bless. And I'll see you guys at the top. Love you guys.